In the first half of the UFC, iconic fighters such as Tyron Woodley, Alistair Overeem, Junior Dos Santos, Omari Akhmedov left the UFC. It was also surprising when it was reported that Kevin Lee, who until recently was going to knock out not anyone, but Khabib Nurmagomedov, were fired. And who replaces these guys? Among the debutants there are curious personalities. One of these kickboxers, Alex Pereira. Hello fighters with MMA Iron Channel. In this video we will remember about heart knockouts from Alex Pereira. But before the beginning of this video, I ask you to subscribe to the channel and put a like so that a lot of people will know about this spectacular fighter. Pereira is a member of the indigenous tribes of Brazil. He grew up in favelas, which almost always means a difficult childhood. Alex did not even finish high school, and at the age of 12 began to work in a tire shop. Next to such a place was alcohol. At first, the taste repelled the future fighter, and then he became addicted to such an extent that by the age of 16, he drank about a liter of rum a day, plus added various types of beer. I was an alcoholic, a complete alcoholic. It was just a way of life in that place. I didn't know anything else. Where there is alcohol, there are fights. As a result, Pereira pulled himself together, and at the age of 21 found himself in the kickboxing hall. In amateurs, he reached a record of 25-3, all victories by knockout. At the very beginning of his amateur career, he won the national championships in his weight category. Then the coaches said that he had a future in sports. At that moment, I decided that I needed to stop drinking. He resigned, overcame withdrawal symptoms. It was hard, but I did, and I haven't taken a sip of alcohol since. Now, I'm celebrating Coca-Cola. Alex's debut is scheduled for November, when the UFC 268 tournament will take place. It can be assumed that the Brazilian is counted on, since they immediately gave a duel in the numbered tournament. Of course, this will be a preliminary card. After all, there will be 2 title fights at the upcoming event. The opponent will be 33-year-old Greek Andreas Michailidis. In the UFC, he has 1 win and 1 loss. At the beginning of the fight, both fighters exchanged blows on the legs, but it was clear that for Michailidis, such a scenario would lead to a deplorable result. After all, this distance and manner of fighting is convenient for Alex, so Andreas made the right decision and began to reduce the distance. Michailidis tried to go to his feet, but Pereira resisted. Then Andreas presses his opponent to the net, depriving him of striking space. The Greek fighter behaves very passively, does not perform any effective actions, but deprives Pereira of his most important virtue, the ability to fight in a stand-up. In this position, the first round ended, but round 2 compensated the spectators for the lack of entertainment in full. Pereira was eager to recoup for the lost 5 minutes, and after 13 seconds, he imprinted a knee in the head of a noticeably tired opponent. Finishing in this episode was already superfluous. The fight began slowly. Strickland pressed the Brazilian. Pereira slowly worked towards him. Suddenly, in the middle of the first round, Alex fired a powerful left side kick that knocked the American down. He was in a hurry to get up, but immediately missed from the Brazilian on the right, having already fallen completely. The referee immediately intervened and stopped the fight. A lot of people talk about my 2 wins over Israel Adesanya, and note that they were in kickboxing. Now I'm ready to beat him here. I think I deserved it. Their first fight took place back in 2012 at the Brazilian Regional Kickboxing Arena, when Vilnius won by technical knockout after corner Pereira decided to stop the fight after the second round. After that, they met for the second time at Glory 20 in Dubai, where Vilnius was defeated by unanimous decision. With revenge in mind, Pereira wanted to make a statement on Glory 65. The first minute of the fight was quite intense, as both kickboxers were in no hurry to feel the distance at an early stage. Vilnius was knocked down shortly after the first 60 seconds and Vilnius did his best to recover when the referee counted down 10 seconds. However, as soon as the fight resumed, he received another brutal blow. As soon as the referee resumed the fight, Pereira rushed to Vilnius and delivered a knee strike, which was the last blow of the fight. Since defending his Glory middleweight title 4 times in a row, Alex Pereira has had no new opponents in the weight class. So, in 2019, he moved up to light heavyweight to fight Dongi Abina for the interim title at Glory 68 in Miami, USA. The first 2 rounds of the fight were held in an equal fight, and both fighters enjoyed moments of success. Dongi Abina clearly feared that his endurance would not be enough for the whole fight, and therefore he tried to act on counterattacks. In the third frame, Pereira increased his pace, forcing Abina to take several dangerous positions. Just over 2 minutes into the round, Poatan struck a hard left hook from close range, causing his colleague to crash his face into the canvas. Kickboxing star and Glory champion Alex Pereira has successfully returned to mixed martial arts. After a brief career in kickboxing, he decided to always go to MMA, and the fight I'm going to talk about will be intimidating. Pereira had the initiative throughout the fight, which lasted only 4 minutes, shooting his opponent from a distance and dominating the clinch. Even at the beginning of the round, the Brazilian was close to an early victory after a precise front kick in the liver area. But Powell managed to wait out a difficult moment and even press his opponent to the net. Pereira did not allow himself to be transferred to the ground and soon ended the fight with a trademark left hook, after which Thomas Powell could not regain consciousness for several minutes. Now numbered UFC tournaments sell at least 400,000–500,000 paid broadcasts, and kickboxing is constantly monitored only by the most loyal fans. However, sometimes there are fights that deserve a lot of attention, and the Russian public too. On the night of January 31, Artem Vakitov fought with Alex Pereira, one of the most terrible knockouts in the world of martial arts. Pereira took the first round. The statistics speak for themselves. The Brazilian beat the Russian kickboxer, of course. Not all of Alex's shots were power, but some of his hits were very tough. In the third round, Vakitov was better at the beginning and at the end, but in the middle of the round he missed several punches, including an excellent knee kick in the jump. The most striking episode of the fourth round was when, at the very end of it, Vakitov pressed Pereira to the ropes and planted a powerful deuce. The right straight, the left straight after such punches fall, but the Brazilian ate both, slightly shaking. Alex's nickname is a stone hand. Apparently, his jaw is also stone. As soon as the fifth round started, another bomb flew into the face of the Brazilian. Vakitov immediately added a couple of blows. For a moment, it seemed that Pereira was very shocked, but no, he continued to beat as if nothing had happened. Then Artem had a few more hits. Alex looked pale against his background. With his left hand, with which he lays everyone in a row, he hit little, not only in the final round, but in the entire fight. As a result, the referee's decision was won by Brazilian Alex Pereira.